Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, send blessings and salutations of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his household, his companions. May Allah bless them all and may Allah bless every one of us here, ameen, and grant us Jannatul Firdaus, ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my beloved brothers and sisters who have all gathered here for this meeting. Today, we are going to talk about the Holy Quran. About 1,400 years ago, the greatest revelation upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was revealed. It is the direct speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing in this world is exactly like it. Nothing. Not even a single verse can be replicated like the Quran. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has actually challenged the people of Quraysh who were there. He said, you know what? Replicate one surah. They couldn't do that. So he reduced the size. He said, replicate one ayah from the Quran, and they still couldn't do it. It is a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the greatest revelation. There has been other revelations in the past. To Isa alayhi salam, and also Musa alayhi salam, and Dawood alayhi salam, like the Torah, the Injil, and the Zabur. But none of them really stayed with us for a long time. None of them really was experienced by all of us. But the Quran is witnessed by every one of us till the end of time. The Creator is the direct speech of the Creator, and only He will take it back. In one night, Prophet said, in one night, all of the ayat from the Quran will be taken up until nothing remains. And that day, the world will end. No one would be able to read the Quran. But till then, every one of us can read the Quran and witness that greatest miracle which has been sent upon us. It is a mercy. It is a mercy that has been sent upon us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us. So why don't we read it? Why don't we read it like other books that we read? You are sad, you are depressed, you are happy, you are acknowledged, you are anything, read the Quran. If you are sad, actually read the Quran, it will make you happy. If you are feeling confused, read the Quran, it will make you straight. Everything is given in the Quran. It is actually the correct path. Whenever you are in doubt, read the Quran, because it's the literal speech of Allah. Allah is talking to you directly, subhanAllah. And why don't we use it and read it as much as we can? It is one of the greatest miracles. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says the Quran is the right path, and anyone who is diverting from the path of Quran is diverting from the path of Islam itself. If you want peace and tranquility, you read the Quran. It is said in the Quran by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala itself in Surah Al-Rahat. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alladhina amanu tatma'innu qulubuhum bi dhikrillah. Ala bi dhikrillah tatma'innul qulub. To achieve that peace and tranquility is by the remembrance of Allah, and only by the remembrance of Allah can one achieve peace and tranquility. Subhanallah. If you do not remember Allah, and there are two ways to remember Allah, by the way, prayer and Quran. When you read the Quran, you are remembering Allah. That is the greatest act of worship other than the prayer. When you read the Quran, you are remembering Allah, and you leave that peace in you. Every one of us who is gathered here tonight, we have all experienced it. When we are feeling down, when we are feeling confused, we have opened the Quran and we have read few verses, and then our heart is relieved. Something that was in our heart is blown away. That's the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can any book in the history of mankind replicate this? None. None can replicate this. Because it's the Quran. Quran is not like any other books. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His own book, in His Quran, He has said, whoever reads the Quran has achieved that peace and achieved that tranquility. And it is one of the greatest acts of worship. One of the greatest acts of worship. He has said, anyone who remembers the Quran will not be destroyed. How can we say this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, other like the other revelations upon mankind, Quran can be never destroyed. No one can destroy it. No one can take it away from you except the Creator. Except the Creator. No one can take it away from you. So imagine if that Quran is in your heart. Will anyone be able to destroy you? Can anyone be able to touch you? No one can, because that Quran is in your heart, and Allah has sworn upon Himself that He will never be able to, no one can be able to destroy the Quran. So if that Quran is in your heart, no one will be able to destroy you. So I encourage every one of them to have the part of Quran, or even the whole Quran in your heart, and carry it within yourself. That's what we said. Someone asked Aisha radiallahu anha, how did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam live his life? How did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam live his life? So Aisha radiallahu anha said to him, do you read the Quran? He said, of course. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived his life exactly like it has said in the Quran. So if we are all the part of Ummah, the part of the Ummah of sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have to live exactly like the Quran that has been said. It is a miracle, the Quran. No one has any argument against the Quran. Even at the time of Quraysh, they said, oh, this has been written by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made it like that. There were so many accusations. But let me tell you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was unlettered. He couldn't write the Quran. He couldn't write, no, he couldn't read. So how can he make the Quran? No, he can't make the Quran. It was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sent it upon him, and by his guidance did only we receive the Quran. The Quran has so many scientific verses in it itself. Like at the time, like 1,400 years ago, we all know that technology and science was not that developed. It was not that developed. But at that time in the Quran it said, in Surah An-Nur, that the light of the moon is not from the moon itself, but it is a reflection from the sun. At that time, no human can prove this. No human can prove this. They don't even have that technology at that time. Only in the Quran can it say. In the Quran, it has said that the light of the moon is the reflection of the sun. It's not its own light. No human can say this. Only the Quran can say this. That's how we can prove that the Quran is from the Creator itself. And as I said earlier, it is the direct speech of the Creator. So when you're reading the Quran, it's as if you're reading the speeches of the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala itself. That is one of the greatest miracles. May we all read it all the time and memorize most of the verses in our heart as much as we can till the day of judgment. أقول قولي هذا صلى الله وسلم نبينا محمد سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.